Today's high impact phrase, it's one that eliminates confusion. It's one that's going to drive results, and it's going to set your team up to win. Here it is. Here's what I need from you.
This is the Champion Forum podcast with Jeff Hancher, the forum for leaders, champions, and dreamers.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Jeff Hancher here, and I am on a mission to help others lead, inspire, and win in this life. Today, we are embarking on part 2 of 4 in this 4-part series where I'm going to be breaking down high-impact leadership phrases. You know, I have found that the most impactful leaders, they choose their words very carefully. And not only do they say the right words, but they also say them at the appropriate time, and they deliver them with tact at the very right moment. And that's why we're embarking on this series. And that's why I love this series so much. By learning great leadership phrases, it's going to revolutionize how you go about leadership. It's going to revolutionize the impact that you can have on other people. And today's phrase is one of my absolute favorites. It's going to help you build your leadership vocabulary. Here's what I need from you. Here's what I need from you. Man, that's a powerful phrase. Now, if you just listen to those words, you can't just say words and hope they carry the impact that you want. There's a little bit of emotional intelligence that has to come from this. Because when I say the things, here's what I need from you. When I say these words, you might be thinking, wow, that's kind of dominating. That's kind of aggressive. It is in the wrong tone. It is in the wrong setting. But I will tell you this, I'm going to break this phrase down for you in a way that it's going to make big impact, and it's going to hit the bullseye for you to make sure that there is clarity all over the culture of your organization. It's a phrase every leader should get comfortable using because your team can't hit a target that is not clear. Clear is kind. We know this. Let's talk about why this phrase works, and I'm going to break down how you can use it the right way, even in your next leadership conversation. What I know is that one of the biggest sources of frustration of any team is unclear expectations. I talk about this a lot in our book, Firm Feedback in a Fragile World. Pillar 1, set clear, reasonable expectations, right? Absolutely critical. We don't earn the right to lead people if we're not clear in what the expectations are. People, they don't know what good looks like unless we, the leadership, is letting them know what good is. Deadlines might be fuzzy, roles are assumed but never confirmed. Oh, have you ever heard somebody say, I thought you meant this, I thought you meant that. Leader, I'm not saying that's your fault, but I am saying it's your responsibility. I thought when you said this, you meant that. No, this is what I meant. And what happens? The ball gets dropped. The leader gets frustrated. The team member gets discouraged. Morale starts taking a hit. Culture starts to deteriorate. Why? All because the ask wasn't clear. That's where this phrase comes in and is so important. Here's what I need from you. This phrase, it's powerful. It's powerful for a host of reasons. But one of the things I love most about this phrase, it shifts from assumption to communication. Leadership communication is critical. You're not hoping they get it when you say these words. You're saying it very clearly. You are rolling it out. It brings clarity without being harsh, because you can be clear and swing a stick and hit people. This is what I told you to do. No, that's not necessary. What we know is the greatest leaders are always fully composed. They don't need to throw chairs. They don't need to swing sticks, but they do need to be clear. I like this because it's direct. It's not demeaning. It sets the tone for partnership. We're doing this together. It's you and I. It's not me just giving directives, but I'm being very clear. It also reduces the amount of rework that you have to do sometimes as a leader, or the constant follow-up. Have you ever felt like you're just following up until you're blue in the face? That might be because you're not clear. What you might be saying is, gosh, this team, will they ever get it? I don't understand it. I tell. I thought they meant, who in their right mind would do it that way? We've all said these things as leaders. The question is, were you clear up front to begin with? And did you get confirmation on the clarity? The clearer you are up front, the fewer corrections that you're going to need to make later. You know, what does the saying, you all maybe have heard it in contracting, if you measure twice, you cut once. You know, I remember people telling me this growing up all the time. Measure twice, cut once. You don't want to make a bad cut, especially if you cut that thing too short, right? There's no turning back. Let's say a team member is, they're just kind of circling around this task that's out there that you gave them, but they're not really owning it. They're all around it. They're circling around it. They're giving you the impression that maybe something is happening. What you might want to try is, hey, Brad, you got some great ideas here, but here's what I need from you. I want you to take point on this project, and I need you to have an outline to me by Friday. Does that seem fair? Now we're opening up dialogue, and I'm very clear. Boom. There it is. Now there's no question about who's doing what, by when. It's very, very clear. Now, based off the person that you're talking to, tone is going to be a factor. So keep tone in mind. I want you to think about using this transition when you're delegating responsibility, when you're assigning ownership of anything, a task, an assignment, a project, whatever it might be. Oftentimes, we have to redirect performance. Things aren't going the way we thought they should be going. Balls are getting dropped. What we needed them to do, they're not doing it. It's a great time to use this phrase. Maybe we need to recalibrate after something falls short. Great time to use this phrase. And by the way, tone is critical in this. I can't stress this enough, because what we don't want to come across as leaders is people that are just barking orders. What we do want to come across as is a leader that is leading with clarity. Clarity. Look, I'm not here to tell you that even when you do it perfectly, everybody is going to appreciate it. But what we can control is clarity, and we need to be thinking about our delivery. What is our tone going to be? Who is the audience? Are they an emotional person? Do they like direct feedback? Whatever it might be, know the tone. What we don't want to do is say, here's what I need from you. That's probably not going to get a whole lot of brownie points and a whole lot of collaboration on the team. What you might want to say, Brad, here's what I really need from you. With confidence, with calm, direct, yeah. Firm, yeah. Clear, absolutely. Demeaning, overbearing, never a place for that. There's never really a good reason for that. I don't care how much they are driving you insane. There's really never a good reason for that level of emotion. Here's something else to consider when using this phrase. After you say, here's what I need from you, pause. Let it land. I talked about this in the last episode of be quick to listen versus quick to respond. Here's what I need from you. Let it pause. Let it land. Now what's happening? They're processing what they just heard. This assignment, this recalibration, this redirect, whatever it might be. Let that land, let them process it, and then just ask this question. Is that clear? Is that fair? Is there anything that I can clarify for you, Brad? So now what are we doing? Because you know what we might have asked them to do in clarity is, Brad, listen, here's what I need from you. Friday, we're going to go down to the high school track, and you're going to run a 4-minute mile. We're what? I mean, look, hats off, leader. That's very clear. Is it reasonable? No. That's why the follow-up to this phrase is absolutely paramount. Is that clear? Yeah, it is clear. I think what I just heard you say was, I'm going to run a 4-minute mile on Friday. I think that's what I heard. Is that what I heard? Yeah. Is there anything that I can clarify about that? Now I'm asking an open question, and what have I done? I've brought in collaboration. And that's when Brad might say, I've never run a 4-minute mile in my life. The best I've ever done was a 5-minute mile, which is a pretty fast mile, by the way. And if you know Brad, that's probably very realistic that he did run a 5-minute mile, but that's a whole nother subject. The reality is this: don't just sit on, is that clear? Because you will have some good foot soldiers that are like, yeah, show me the starting line, I'm ready to run. You want these follow-up, collaborative questions after you define the clarity. Now what we're doing is we're gaining agreement on what it is exactly that we need, and we have buy-in on the mission forward. This creates space for questions. It ensures that you're truly aligned in whatever it is that we're about to do. I might need a 4-minute mile, but after this collaboration and after opening this space for questions, I may get agreement from Brad that we're going to start at an 8-minute mile. And I got to make sure that Brad doesn't bring his steel-toe boots to run in. I got to get him some shoes, right? Here's the thing. Leadership is not about micromanagement. It's about being clear. And sometimes clarity sounds like, here's what I need from you. Say it. Own it. Give your team this gift, this leadership gift of knowing exactly what success looks like. Until next time, keep leading with clarity and keep turning that pressure into potential.
The Champion Forum Podcast with Jeff Hancher. Lead, inspire, win.